Hello, in this video I will focus on Winton Commander and his awakening that was made available in the last update. Winton is a decent cavalry commander whose medals were first made available via the recruitment pass, mainly in its shop and in the second hero stage. He is at the same category with Uma and Lareo, which are spears and infantry commanders respectively. Winton can be a useful commander both for PvP and for PvE versus rebel leaders. Focusing on the PvP stats that he offers, when gold, they are the following. He offers cavalry attack 30%, enemy infantry health reduction 15%, and enemy total defense reduction 10%. Compared to the F2P commanders, his advantage is that he offers PvP stats in all of his 3 skills, including troop attack, which is the most important. Although he doesn't offer great stats in overall, with defense reduction and the infantry specific health reduction being not that great, he can be quite useful in cavalry formations. Focusing on PvE and especially versus rebel leaders, Winton can be quite useful in Enzo based formations instead of a normal healer, reducing the damage that Enzo takes, as we can see from the Wrath skill. When you see that with normal healers like Jean or Egbert, Enzo's health stays in high levels, and without the healer Enzo dies, then Winton would be an ideal choice because he doesn't heal as much as the mentioned commanders, but he reduces the damage that Enzo takes, keeping him alive and in low health levels in order to make more damage. In Tavern, Winton gives the following attributes: 3 stars of command, determining the amount of troops we get from the tavern each time, and 4 stars of combat rate, determining the amount of extra stats that you or your enemy will get in a PvP battle. Focusing on his awakening, after being awakened to 2 stars, Winton gives 1 more star in his attributes in the tavern, resulting in 4 stars command and 5 stars of combat rate. Giving also the combat rate, this can be considered quite good and useful. In 3 stars, his PvP stats are also increased by 1.6, resulting to cavalry attack 48%, enemy infantry health reduction 23%, and enemy total defense reduction 16%. Besides these, as usual, Winton gives some stats from the hidden ability effects when awakened. When all hidden abilities have been unlocked after the 3rd star by using the books, he gives the following: cavalry attack 18%, enemy infantry health reduction 18%, and enemy total defense reduction 19.2%. If we combine the hidden abilities with the normal combat stats, when deployed, Winton gives the following: cavalry attack 66%, enemy infantry health reduction 41%, and enemy total defense reduction 35.2%. One more important thing that we have to take into account for Winton's awakening is the fact that this will affect him also when he is used in rebel leader formations. His skills all increase, and also he reduces the damage taken by Enzo by more. This means that in formations where his advantage was that Enzo stayed alive but also on low health levels, may not be true after his awakening, even on 2 stars. This can happen when your Enzo is awakened versus easier rebel leaders where the damage he gets is not very big either way. Focusing on Winton's skill, which is the most important thing in a commander's awakening, Winton's skill is the following. First, the front row's health increases by 15%. Second, after allied troops land a total of 50 weakness attacks, one random enemy commander will be silenced for 12 seconds. This effect can only be used one time during the battle. The silence status for a commander means the following: the commander is unable to cast active army skills. Focusing on the first part of his skill, 15% is of course always welcome, but will not do much of a difference in the levels the stats are currently on. The important part of his skill is the second part. As it depends on the number of weakness attacks the allied troops make, it is linked to Jamie's setup. It is finally a cavalry support commander for the Enzo and Jamie setup for cavalry formations, something we didn't have yet. Note that this second part of his skill applies only once per battle. Also, we have to notice that as it requires 50 weakness attacks, it won't be applied early in the battle, but on the other hand quite late, nearly 25 or 30 seconds after the beginning of the battle. Silencing one commander can be nice as it can avoid some damage dealt, avoiding one or a maximum of 2 attacks from that commander if you are lucky. Especially versus enemy Layla based setups, it can avoid even more attacks. On the other hand, against Sinara based setups, the steal is completely useless, as on that setups the enemy commanders are already silenced either way. In general, although it is good that it is still connected to one of the most powerful commander setups that there exist currently in the game and can be exploited that way, it is a skill that is not going to make too much difference as usual in Elite Commander Awakenings, maybe excluding Arya. In general, there are still better options to use combined with the Jaime Enzo setup in Cavalries, for example the hybrid setup, combining the Jaime and Enzo weakness setup with female setup like Layla, Salma and Arya. But for smaller spenders who cannot focus on several epic commanders besides Enzo and Jaime, it can be a nice choice to have him 4 stars, increasing stats and at the same time assisting with his skill. It can be a better choice, for example, than Merel, Russell and other free-to-play commanders. So, in this case, I would recommend to awaken him and use him on 4 stars. On other cases, I recommend on going up to 2 stars for his combat rate in the tavern, although this must be done with caution, depending on your Enzo formation in rebel leaders as it might affect them. Thank you a lot for watching the video and don't hesitate to leave a comment.